All right, so this is really cool. I use this SEO strategy for one of our e-commerce businesses to get over 3 million in impressions, 90,000 in clicks in a little bit less than 90 days. And I want to show you guys the exact steps that I use to implement this, so you can do it in your businesses or for your clients. And I want to dive into the numbers, because what does this mean? What does 90,000 clicks and 3 million in impressions actually mean in dollars? What have I done with this funnel to generate revenue? So I want to dive into all that so that you guys can utilize this strategy as well. So let's break down the numbers first and foremost, and then I'll give you guys the exact strategy to follow. So the way I have this funnel broken out, and these are the averages of the last 3 months. So this is 3 million in impressions. The average click-through is about 3% of click-through rate. So that equates to about 90,000 clicks for this 3-month period in this business. And that's obviously, this is the top of the funnel. It's going like this. We're narrowing this down. It all starts with traffic at the forefront, which I'm going to show you what I've done to get the traffic in just a minute here. So the next is clicks to leads. So this is if you have a lead magnet, if you have something that people are requesting information on, or a coupon code or something like that, to get their email so you can follow up with them later to increase your conversions. I mean, that is really key. It has to be something valuable that they want, and that's going to be embedded in your content strategy. So for us, it is around 5% as far as the opt-in percentage. So that's about 4,500 leads. So that's a lot of people that we can then follow back up with and nurture in our email sequences to then drive more sales. So that is really key, because it's hard to send people right from clicking to buying, although it does happen and there are strategies for that. It's nice to give them an in-between of signing up for your email list and then building rapport, know, like, and trust with the value that you're creating in your emails. And then the last step is obviously leads to purchases. So purchase conversion is around 8 to 12%. So our purchases are around 400 based on converting the leads. And also, this does include people that are converting right away from landing on our landing pages, landing on product pages, things like that. So then the revenue, if we're doing about 400 purchases, the average orders are around $75 in order. This is about 30,000 in revenue. So this is a relatively new business. There's a lot of room to grow here. Obviously, we could focus on getting our average order value up. We could focus on getting more purchases and conversions here. And all of these, this funnel, all of these will hopefully we can tweak and lead into this revenue amount here. But you can see, if I can get this conversion rate up, if I can get this conversion rate up, if I can get this traffic up, which the traffic we got in the bag, we got a good strategy for that. These other numbers are we can easily play with those. So let's dive into the actual strategy so you guys can start implementing this in your business to get traffic. And the conversions and all that stuff is going to vary a little bit between industries depending on niches, but it all starts with traffic at the end of the day. That is a good problem to have if you're having to figure out, okay, how can I convert more of this traffic? Most people have the problem how to get traffic to begin with. So the conversion stuff is a good problem to have if you're getting enough traffic. So I want to help you be able to get enough traffic. So the first step of this process is your on-page SEO. So with our on-page SEO, we have to make sure this is correct, or we're not going to be able to get the traffic that I was talking about. So a lot of people still miss this, and it's really, really important, but you must master search intent. So you must, your content on your landing pages, on your blogs, whatever the case may be, has to match search intent. So you have to make sure that you are crafting your titles and your tags and your meta descriptions with primary keywords and search intent keywords, more lower bottom of the funnel keywords, which I'm going to talk about more in a little bit. That is going to be, so your stuff, your landing pages and your content is going to show up in AI overviews, but it's also going to show up, in Google search results and stuff like that. The top of funnel stuff is not showing up. That's too broad. People don't want that. So you have to match search intent. So instead of best protein powders in 2025, if you sell protein powders, you want to do best protein powders 2025 lab tested rankings plus buyer's guide or something like that. Or you can do the best protein powders for marathon runners, or best protein powders for people under 30, something like that, to match more search intent. And this is going to create higher engagement signals for Google, which is going to create better rankings. So this is really key. So you have to think in terms of search intent. A lot of people are just trying to write it for the algorithms, when you should be writing it for the people that are looking for the stuff. And that's what's going to really make a difference at the end of the day. So the other big part of this is going to be the structure. So you have to make sure that you're using the appropriate structure of H1, H2 hierarchy with your titles. You have to make sure you're adding FAQ sections, bullet points, comparison tables. So these are going to help you get featured with AI overviews, featured in snippets. And then you have to make sure that you are sprinkling in semantic keywords. So a good example of this is, for home solar panels, also mention, solar tax credit, panel efficiency, roof requirements. So you want to give them all of the information that they need to make a buying decision. And we're also focusing on the people that are at the bottom of the funnel more so than the top of the funnel. And you want to make sure that your website is set up from an SEO standpoint. You want to make sure it has solid meta descriptions. You want to make sure it has solid titles, all the things in it. So what I use, a good audit tool that I use is Arvow, which I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, which you can audit your website with this. So we can use a site optimizer tool. We're just going to go in here. This is for Arvow, but you're going to see how this works. So you can audit your tool for your website for SEO with this tool: page titles, meta descriptions, chronological URLs, image alt text, FAQ schema, article schema. This is all the stuff that matters from an SEO standpoint to build the know, like, and trust and to show up. And if this stuff is wrong, it's going to be much harder to rank and much harder to get traffic. And you can edit and audit your entire website in just a couple of minutes using this tool. So for how this works is, so for page titles, it's going to give you the current title here, and then it's going to give you a suggested title, and that's also going to tell you why, so you can kind of learn, like, why should this be improved. Same thing for meta descriptions. You can A, make sure you have one, B, make sure it's optimized for the keywords that you want to rank for. Image alt text. This is often very missed. You want to make sure all of your images have alt text. Again, from an SEO standpoint, it really matters. So this stuff allows you to make sure your stuff is A, there, B, SEO optimized. So there's a link below. You can try out Arvow for free, but this is an easy way to audit your website. All right, the next part of this, and this is where things really get cool. So the next part of this is to build content for AI and search intent. So kind of what I was talking about up here a little bit for like on-page stuff. When your steady release of content, and what I use is SEO blogs, is going to help improve traffic tremendously. Obviously, your landing pages and all that stuff matter for on-page SEO, but it's the consistent release of content that's SEO optimized that's going to explode your traffic. And that's why up here, I mean, you can't see, but there's every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, we're posting blog content that's SEO optimized to drive traffic. So it's not only about the blog content, it's what is inside that blog content that matters. So the first thing is top of the funnel versus bottom of the funnel. I talked about this a little bit. So obviously we have our funnel here. Here is where the money is made at the bottom. At the top, people are still in information gathering, right? It's big question mark. There's like, I'm looking, but I'm very far away from my buying decision. So this is why we want to focus our content and our strategy on bottom of the funnel, long tail keywords. So this is where the money is made. This is where the conversion is much higher. So what am I talking about with bottom of the funnel versus top of the funnel? So for instance, let's just say we have a shoe brand, and at the top of the funnel here is just going to be running shoes, right? Okay, So some people are maybe thinking about running shoes or looking at different running shoes. They're not close to buying yet. They don't know what type of running shoes they need or want for whatever situation. Now, if you instead do content not just on broad running shoes, if you do content on running shoes for pregnant women, I'm just going to write a line because I'm not going to write all that out. Running shoes for pregnant women with sore backs. This is very much bottom of the funnel. This person knows I'm a pregnant woman. I need running shoes. I need running shoes that's going to help me with my sore back. So it's a pain point that you're alleviating, and you're going to give them a robust SEO-friendly article about the best running shoes for pregnant women with bad backs. They're going to land on this article, and then they're going to buy from you because you are matching their search intent. You're meeting them where they are, and you're meeting the people that are ready to buy. So that is a major strategy that a lot of people are missing. The other part is content pillars. So when you're doing your content, yes, we want to match it to bottom of the funnel search intent, but we want to have this broken out in pillars, right? We don't just want to do articles for pregnant women with sore backs all the time. So we want to have content pillars, however many you think you need for your industry. So maybe this one's for running shoes. Maybe this is for hiking shoes. And maybe this is for walking shoes. So these are our content pillars. This is, our niche is obviously running shoes, and we're going to break our content into these content pillars. So then when we release our content, release our SEO-friendly blog articles, they are going to roll into these content pillars, and it's going to serve our bottom of the funnel niche. So for instance, for walking, we're not just going to do walking shoes, right? That's top of the funnel. You got to think deeper than that. We're going to do shoes that support sore knees, or we're going to do an article on best walking shoes for people over 60. There's so many instances of the bottom of the funnel that we can use for these content pillars. That's really going to be key to bring in a lot of traffic, but a lot of high quality traffic that is going to be, have a higher likelihood of purchasing. The other things that we want to do is we want to make sure our content is SEO optimized. So let's just go through this here. So we want to make sure bottom of the funnel, long tail keyword target. Again, we have those keywords that we're going to then create articles on there, and then they're going to naturally flow in our content. We want to make sure have internal links, right? So when we have our articles, we want to link to other pages to basically get that link juice spread across our entire website. So you can link to other relevant blog articles, other pages, buying pages, product pages, whatever your niche is. We want to also have external links to outside sources, to outside trusted sources. So it builds the know, like, and trust, plus Google can see that we are linking to trusted sources. Then we want to have meta descriptions, basically keying in on the keywords that we're wanting to target. Images and alt text, again, very important to add that extra SEO inside our content. Embed YouTube channels, whether they're your own YouTube videos or relevant YouTube videos. It makes your content more engaging for the user, so they're bouncing less. The proper structure, H1, H2, titles and headings. So that's important. And then a bonus, this is a super sneaky tactic here, is going to be add quizzes and guides inside. You can embed these inside your articles, inside your blogs. You can easily create these in ChatGPT, design a quiz, ask it to create the code, and then you just copy and paste the code inside your blog articles. Super easy. So think about, what is appropriate, what is beneficial, what will add value for your audience, and you're going to embed that in there. And that's really kind of a next level strategy to quickly build that know, like, and trust. So I know I mentioned Arvow before. So this is a fantastic way to be able to do that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you some of these articles. This is done hands off. I have this set up, and it's automatically gets done for me once you have it set up. You can create these articles that are SEO friendly. So you're not having to do, if you had to do this all yourself, this would take hours. I have Arvow doing this for me, and it literally takes minutes, which is crazy. And then I can automate this. So I find out my content pillar, I find out what long tail keyword I want to target in, and then I have it create articles on that topic. And this is exact strategy that I'm doing, for this business and a lot of other businesses. And you can check out on Arvow's website, there's a lot of case studies showing you the actual results. So like, here's a really good example for this. So if I'm a mechanic and I offer AC repair, brake repair, those are my content pillars. But I don't just want to do an article on brakes. Who wants that? People aren't just searching for brakes. People are searching for a problem with the brakes. So my content pillar is brakes, but I'm doing a bottom of the funnel keyword combination, long tail keyword. My brakes are making a rattling sound. What should I do? Very much bottom of the funnel. If their brakes are rattling, they're trying to find a solution, my article is going to come up. The articles out there, the content out there is just on brakes or get your brakes service. That's too broad. That doesn't matter to people. They want to figure out what the fix is. So this article is going to provide an image. It's also going to tell them right away, here's possible problems and possible fixes, and then it's going to go into more detailed. This part is good for AI overviews because it's giving the solutions right away, and then it's not going to give them fluff, and then it's going to go into understanding the brake noises, causes. It's going to go into this, and then it's going to have internal links to other landing pages or product pages or booking pages, or external links, whatever you want to do here. It's going to have excerpts, more images with alt text. So this is it's going to include a YouTube video. So really what this is doing is giving them a lot of information, but at the end of the day, it's prompting them to make an appointment with this repair shop because they're telling them what's wrong. Obviously, most people can't fix this themselves. So they're going to, bottom line, go to a repair. But if they're not confident that they know what's wrong, or they don't know what's wrong because the information is not correct, they're less likely to book an appointment. So this is giving them all the information up front, building that know, like, and trust so they book the appointment. And then at the bottom here, it's going to give them FAQs, which again, really good for AI overviews, really good for extra information. And the nice thing about this is you can edit in all of your information. You can basically include all of your information for your business in here. You can include your own images. You can include your website. You can include knowledge bases. So if you have training manuals or documents, so you can feed the AI with your own information. So yes, it is using AI to create this stuff, but it's also going to pull in your brand. Just going to pull in your own sitemap. So it will automatically embed your other pages in these articles to link everything together, and you can get that link juice. So it's not just like creating articles in ChatGPT. This is way more advanced and way more involved. So it's doing all of this information and then also adding in all of your website information, all of your business information inside the articles and using that to create this content. So very robust, very user-friendly. And the other thing is, once you have this article created, you can automatically link this to your website and auto-post it. You can even create an auto blog, which it'll post this you create the content clusters, the topics, the SEO keywords that you want to focus on. And then you can set up this auto blog to release articles every single day, multiple times a day, 10 times a day if you really want to. But at least once a day is probably a good cadence on hitting these different bottom of the funnel long tail keywords for your different content pillars. Again, there is a link below to try this out for free, but that is the full strategy that is working for not only this business, for a ton of businesses out there. And a lot of people are just trying to focus on that top of the funnel content and just get content out there. And you got to be a little bit more strategic with that, especially in this new age of AI reviews, AI search. Just think about what the buyer and what your customer is looking for and give them that information. And then you're going to rank a lot higher and you're going to get a lot more traffic. So that is it. Hopefully that helps you guys out, that you can start implementing this stuff in your business. If you need more help with SEO, more tactics, make sure you check out this other video I've done. I'll be back soon with some more good stuff for you guys.